Hey everyone, Hmong Sam Gamer slash YouTuber here, and I am back to narrate some more scary stories that aren't in the Hmong language, but are from Hmong people, or so I believe, through the forum. And yeah, gained like a number of views I didn't even believe I would reach through just two stories in one video. Yeah, it took a while to get back into the game, but yeah, I'm ready. I'm back. I'm gonna be narrating some more, and let's get this show on the road. That was a horrible, goofy impression. The long hair. Everything was great when my husband and I first moved into the new apartment in Fresno, California. We were finally going to get our life started. We just moved out of the in-laws. Not saying I hated living there, but it was finally the real deal. Living on your own, paying your own rent, buying your own food, etc. I've always been the very independent type, so it was exciting to get that kind of freedom back. Anyways, our apartment was small. The door opens up to a small, square-shaped living room with a huge ocean view window. To the right is the kitchen with a small dining area. Once you enter the living room, straight ahead of you is a short hallway that leads to a bathroom and bedroom. It was a one-bedroom apartment. The whole apartment flooring was a pale wood except the bathroom and kitchen, which was a floral tile. The window panes were painted red. The apartment was small but cozy and a good place to start our life. Plus, I liked how the apartment was a little further away from the usual busy areas. When we first moved in, my father-in-law came and did a cleansing in the apartment because he's a very traditional Hmong man. Not saying that I'm not. For matter of fact, I'm also very traditional. But I didn't think much of it because the apartments were newly built, 2 to 3 years old or so I believe. After my father-in-law left, my husband and I spent a couple of hours digging through our boxes. But once I grew tired of not knowing what to put where, I told my husband to take me to the store and get me some furniture. We left and went to the store for a good 4 to 5 hours. The next morning, my husband left early for work, so I decided to go move some of the boxes into the kitchen and dining area. But I was moving the boxes around. I kept noticing long strands of hair on the ground and in the boxes. It wasn't enough to be noticed right away, but as I moved more and more boxes, I realized that it was pretty much spread throughout. I knew for sure it wasn't mine because I actually had a short A-line cutting during that time, and of course my husband had a clean cut. I didn't give him much thought because my sister-in-laws were helping us pack during the time we were moving out, and they both had pretty long black hair, so I just thought it might have been theirs. Since we left the window open last night and live on the second floor, the wind might have blown the hair everywhere. After I finally finished moving the boxes and swept the floor, I also noticed long strands of hair around the bedroom, but mostly right around the corners of where we slept last night. Honestly, I was a little freaked out, but decided to brush it off and just quickly sweep the room. Later that night, when my husband came home, I brought up the subject to him, and he just shrugged it off and also suggested that it might have been his sister's, which somehow comforted me a little, and I just left it as is and left for work. A couple days later, I got up around noon. When my husband had already gone to work, I decided to finish unpacking and maybe go out to do a little grocery shopping. While I was cleaning and unpacking, I also noticed strands of long hair laying around the floor and on the furniture. Then I went and slowly checked around the corners of the hallway and kitchen, but didn't notice any more hair than one or two. Finally, I went to the bathroom, where my husband and I get ready in the morning. But there was only evidence of our own short hair. I even went as far as checking the bed and pillow for hair because I suspected our hair could have not fallen out that much. I kind of figured most of the hair should be on pillows or in the bathroom. But once again, I only found evidence of our short hair. It was only a strand or two. I tried not to think about it too much and quickly finished cleaning and mopping the whole apartment corner to corner, then left for work. By the time I got off work, I completely forgot about the events in the morning because I was exhausted from a long night of work and just wanted to get home and dive into bed and sleep. The whole apartment was dark when I opened the door to enter. I was planning to quickly grab some clothes, shower, and just get into bed. But as I opened the bedroom door, from the small amount of light coming through the window, I could make out the bump on the bed. My sleeping husband, I suspected. My eyes were quickly drawn to a silhouette of a woman standing beside him on the bed. The first thing that came to my mind was that he was cheating on me, so I quickly reached out and turned on the bedroom lights. I was ready to pounce on my husband, but right as the light came on, the silhouette figure suddenly disappeared right before my eyes. I felt a deep drop in my heart and my body suddenly grew weak. Before I knew it, my knees were starting to shake uncontrollably. I knew what I was feeling, and it was pure terror. My husband quickly jumps out of bed like he was out of breath and looked up at me. He was surprised to see me. I don't know if he noticed the fear on my face, But before I could say anything, he jumped out of the bed and flew into my arms, shouting, "Oh my God, thank you, honey, for waking me up. I was having the worst nightmare ever. I felt I couldn't move my body, and I was like being sat on." What my husband said to me terrified me even more, but I decided not to say anything to scare him, so I just quickly brushed off the fear and told him to go back to sleep. As I lay there in the bed that night, all I felt and heard was the pounding of horror in my heart. For sure, when those lights came on earlier, I believe that what I saw was a long-haired, pale female woman towering over my husband, with her eyes rolled back and blue dead tongue hanging loosely at the side of her mouth.